Tervetuloa tähän tilaisuuteen. Welcome to this presentation where we publish the collaboration between Barcelona and Barcelona Soccer Academyn and PK-35. Käymme tämän jutustelun tässä pääosin englanniksi. This whole event will go through in English, but of course, if you have some hesitations to ask in English, we can always translate if you need. After the official part, virallisen tilaisuuden jälkeen, you have a possibility to interview all the gentlemen here also for tomorrow's game about sekä. But first we talk about Barcelona Soccer Academy and PK-35. Present are, of course, Shefki Kuqi, Pablo Couñago, Ramon Suñe, the executive director, and Mr. Oriol Bueno, CEO of Barcelona Soccer Academy. Welcome. The main things that we are going to tell is about the collaboration between BSA and PK. This will consist of the creation of training camps and also the academy in September. BSA is a managing partner for PK-35 in this collaboration. Oriol, a few questions before we let the journalists start. Do you use the same methodology as the FC Barcelona in BSA?
Tervetuloa. Kiitos, että olette paikalla. Sorry for my Suomi, but it's quite difficult for us to get your pronunciation. Yes, we do the same methodology. We are a private company. We do not represent FC Barcelona anyway, but our coaches are former coaches from FC Barcelona, and we use the exact methodology. Plus many of other knowledge that many of other coaches coming from Real Madrid or from Espanyol or many clubs in Spain, we are developing this methodology, which is the same as FC Barcelona, but obviously we adapt our methodology to the local market.
What do you believe you can contribute to Finnish football with this?
Our main goal is, we are not the stars here. The star is PK, obviously. We just come here to help, to try to create a virtuous circle in which we can develop talent in a natural way, trying to maybe combine our methodology, our training methodology, the love and passion for the ball and for the game, with the Finnish strength and braveness. Maybe we can combine successfully those two items. We can be successful here. But the idea is create a virtuous circle in which the club can provide to the first team homegrown players. So simple as that.
Apart from the campus you will do in June, how you expect to contribute to PK-35 in the future? I mean, not just this year, but...
Yeah, our main goal normally is, it depends, in this case, we want to develop this kind of methodology in which we understand only in one way methodology and training sessions. If we are here in 10 years, maybe we are failing. Our idea is to come here, to establish, to work along with local coaches, to establish this methodology and go back home, maybe 6, 5, 8 years, I don't know. But the idea is to transmit this knowledge to local people. And the main goal for the club is, first of all, we will start with this camp. We'll select some players for the academy. We'll go over for the academy and try, not the first year, but I'm sure in the second, start creating some lines and under 13, under 15, under 17 teams. Finally, to start providing players to the first team, built up all in the same methodology, from the 6-year-old till 18. So the club has a recognizable style of play and methodology to work in.
BSA is a worldwide system. You have
yes.
matches all around.
Yeah, we have 21 worldwide partners, and we are developing programs all over the world. It's so different. We work in in Saudi Arabia, we have been working in Japan, in Algeria, in Cyprus, and many places. But obviously, it depends on the place. We have to we should respect and we have to adapt to local markets. We understand your feeling about football is not the same as we have, so we have to adapt. But obviously, the braveness and the strength of Finnish players, we are really impressed about that. So let's try to put our piece in that methodology and try to combine those specific methodologies. The braveness that you have and strong players, we are not used to that. In Spain, as you may know, many of our players are weak, clever, and talented players. But what can happen if we combine that with braveness and strength? Let's see what happens.
I'm sure that since you work all around the world, the countries, cultures, as you told, are very different. What are similarities? There must be something that connects all the...
Yeah. One, passion for football.
Yeah.
It's passion for football. I know it's not the first, the most followed sport in Finland, but football always wins, just a matter of time. So I think this is the key point between all the places that we're working. Some places are more passionate, obviously, but soccer will succeed. I'm sure of it.
Pablo, what are your opinions of this collaboration with BSA? How do you see that?
Yeah,
all together?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for us as a club working with a big academy that they are working all around the world and they have a great methodology. And I think for PECO is a winning situation because obviously here we have two great teams that we are playing in the best league in the countries as men's and women's teams. So our idea is try to use these players from our team and players from the women's team that for sure will be interesting to coach that players to work with the Barcelona Academy and between us work together to develop players and young kids that in the future hopefully will be in the first team.
Shefki, new players in the future in PK, you think that's possible through the BSA? You mean to grow up with them and then perhaps produce new players for the first team?
Of course, I believe so. And as the boys said, I think here in Finland, especially in Helsinki, of course, is a big opportunity. As we know how we could dominate that. Obviously, a couple of years, we see how quick Honka grow by doing good things, and then how many players Honka produced for the first team. So, if we work right, if we do the right things right, I think there is big opportunities. And like I said, Helsinki is a place where you can do so many things, and it's easy to attract players. And I think here around the capital there are loads of kids and people. I think last couple of years I've been here and I've seen even Hoiko asking me for the. I spoke to some of the guys there. They are desperate for the young coaches, and these guys, it's great to use them because they're not just coaching the kids. They are here to coach also young coaches and bring this through. And if that's the whole idea about this, because we can use same time coaching the kids, but in the same time we coaching new coaches, which like they said, if they're here for more than 10 years, 8 years, something's going wrong. They're here to coach not just kids, but coach home coaches, and from there, they move on and we move on. And every club now depends on homegrown players, and I think we are no different to other teams.
Shall we see Shefki Kuqi learning for the young kids tomorrow, the next summer with BSA? Will you take any part of that?
Of course, if somebody said it doesn't matter whether it's a coach or player or whatever, if somebody says, I know everything, it's 100% wrong. especially in football, you can learn. It doesn't matter where you're young or you're old. You know, time moving on, you have to move with the time, and you gotta be there to learn. Whether you coach or players, you always something to learn. And as many of here, we know everything. Every day become different things, new things coming out. The technology moves every day in different ways. So it's no different to the people's brain. You know, you gotta learn. You gotta be able to learn every day.
One last question to Oriol. What are your expectations for the first summer? What kind of amount of young kids are you expecting to take part?
Obviously, there are limited places, obviously, but sincerely, I don't know. But I see people has a special feeling for PK, so I think, and our methodology is it's proven, it works, and normally at the beginning it's difficult to attract players to young kids and girls to come, but once they try, that methodology makes it so funny, because we cannot forget football is a game, that they repeat and they stay. I'm sure of it. So let's see what happens, but I'm sure we will succeed in that.
Okay, thank you. Kysymyksiä, questions, olkaa hyvä.
How well you know Finnish football culture already?
We started to study a little bit. Our coaches nowadays are studying your football. I cannot give you a special report on that because that is a technical part. But we can provide you all our information. But as long we have seen, it's a hard game. It's a hard game. I've never seen such a hard game in football in my life. So maybe we have to be faster, not stronger. Let's see how we can help on that. But it's a passionate game. We like it. Sometimes we are used to some football is becoming more a show than a real sport, and we feel here that it's a real sport. So we are going back to the origins, and we feel really proud about that.
Yeah, so could you please clarify once again the connection between the Barcelona Soccer Academy and FC Barcelona?
There's no connection. There's no connection. We are a private company. It was created 6 years ago with 80 coaches, former coaches from FC Barcelona. Obviously, we understood that FC Barcelona it's a proven methodology to teach kids how to play football, and it's not just to play football, it's to understand the game. But during the last 3 years, we have been taking some coaches, former coaches from Real Madrid, former coaches from Espanyol, some of them from Villarreal, which makes it even more richer. So there's no connection. We have a good relation, and obviously our coaches have been working there, but there's no physical connection.
So this collaboration doesn't necessarily, open the doors for maybe PK to loan players from La Masia, the Vantaan Academy?
No, not necessarily. But obviously, our connections all over the Spanish football makes it possible. If there's a good player, why not? It depends. It should be an excellent level. In our region, we are from Spain, but our region in Catalonia, nearby Barcelona, its level is really, really, really talented. It's really high. So, but there's a good player. Why not? We can make maybe a second division or maybe a first division team, 17 years old or under 17. We can try in that, of course.
Can you tell me a little bit about your own background?
Sorry?
Can you tell me a little bit about your own background?
My own background. Okay, I started. I've been involved in the election to the vice presidency of FC Barcelona 7 years ago, and at that moment, my son was playing there in the homegrown squads in FC Barcelona. At that moment, I realized that the big potential of because I'm a little bit romantic about football. I'm not for the show business in football. I like the game. And every time I feel more passionate when I see young players that play for fun. That's what really moves me. And at that moment, one of the head coaches and the managers of the school of FC Barcelona, we created this company, and we started to package that methodology of FC Barcelona. Is it possible to package? Yeah. We are going to find a new Messi here. I don't think so. I talk with my heart. I don't think so. But what? Maybe, I don't know. So at that moment, we started to create all this structure all over the world with this package system, and we realized immediately that the fourth month, really you can perceive it. It works. So at that moment, we start creating all this organization with coaches, with the first division coaches. One of our head coaches is Juan Malillo, which is, for me, one of the best coaches in the world. He's the guy who taught absolutely everything to Pep Guardiola. And he's I can say, our mentor and our friend. So our background is obviously from football, apart that we love football.
Hyvä. Onko vielä jotain? Tosiaan tämän jälkeen siellä vielä.
Niin, mitä tästä puhuttiin syyskuusta tästä yhteistyöstä?
Could you explain a little bit about the continuing in September?
Yeah, it's going to be an academy for boys and girls. We are not sure yet, but it's going to be around 500 kids and girls. And it's going to be, depending on the age, once per week or twice per week, with an internal competition on weekends. On the second year, we will go for the creation of maybe a line, because kids in 13, 15 years old, they want to compete, they must compete. So we'll start providing players to the club and working on the club. But the idea is just an academy. You will see it in September. There are strict rules about it that are not negotiable. We cannot forget that we are dealing, it's not players, it's kids, it's somebody else's son. So we have a code of good practices, not negotiable. The philosophy is everybody must have fun playing. It's the only way you can learn it. And you will see a perfect organization. It's the only way we can do it. Everything must work perfectly. And everybody must believe in that methodology, and everybody must apply it. It's the same in 6 years old that in 15 years old. Obviously, at 6, 7, 8 years old, they are not doing physical preparation. You will never see kids running over the pitch for 20 minutes. That's not going to happen. It's one ball per kid. The ball is the clue element for the game. And once you are advancing in the ages, you will see some changes. But the organization is exactly the same, and the methodology is the same for the first and the last one. Sometimes there is maybe a stupid thing. One day I was with a Saudi partner in watching FC Barcelona small kids. And the guy was really surprised. I was saying, oh, it's amazing. These kids look like they play exactly the same as the first team. It's like a young Iniesta or a young Xavi. And I said, no, you're wrong. It's exactly the opposite. It's the first team that is playing like the kids, because they have been doing this all his life.
Vielä jotain. Jos ei, siellä vielä yksi.
Kysyn Sheffiltä valvontamuksesta tässä. Is it, or say it in English, is it meaning that there will be still partnerships in this involved with the current partnership clubs, PK-35 Helsinki and GGS?
I think it will be ideal if we can work together, because we are here to develop kids, to work with kids, and to try to develop that players from the young age to the national teams, to the PECO in Bakersley. And obviously I think BS, PECO Helsinki and us we are working together, and obviously they know already, and they will be happy as us to work with the partners we have here.
Hyvä. Kiitoksia. Thank you. Now you have opportunity to interview this gentleman.